All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sound check. Can I have you, Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good. It started, this government employees retirement system, Virgin Islands regular meeting, board of trustees for Thursday, May 29th, 2025 is hereby called to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Dawson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Trustee Tom and Clark.
Present.
Trustee Clark present. Trustee Andre Dorsey.
Present.
Trustee Dorsey present. Trustee Vincent.
Like guys present.
Trustee Liger present. Ex officio members in the Richardson.
Good morning, present.
Trustee ex officio member Richardson present. Trustee Ronald Russell. Can we go to the screen, Mr. That's where we can see the attendees. We're seeing the two. Trustee Russell absent. Trustee Leona Eastman.
Present.
Trustee Smith present. Trustee Dwayne A. Howard present. Trustee Howard present. Mr. Chairman, there are 5 present, 1 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Are there any comments on suggestions from retirees? Are there any comments on suggestions from active members? Okay, next item on the agenda, the secretary's minutes from the April 24th, 2025 meeting. Are there any corrections or edits that need to be made in the minutes? Hearing none, can I have a motion to accept the minutes from the April 24th, 2025 meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Clark, is there a second?
Is that Trustee Clark? Trustee Dorsey.
Second.
Clark moving the All right, moved by Trustee Dorsey, seconded by Trustee Clark. Have a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Trustee Tom Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Clark, yes. Trustee Andre Dorsey.
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey, yes. Trustee Vincent Liger.
Yes.
Trustee Liger, yes. Trustee Ronald Russell, absent. Trustee Leona Smith.
Yes.
Trustee Smith, yes. Trustee Dwayne Howard.
Yes,
Trustee Colwood, yes. Mr. Chairman, 5 yea, 1 absent.
thank you. Next item, communications and correspondences. Are there any? We're into the record.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 7, the chairman's report on May 14, 2025, along with the administrator and the chair of the development subcommittee, Trustee Smith. I met with Governor Bryan, along with a couple of cabinet members, I think some representatives from EIHFA.
EIHFA and ODR.
I know, sir.
So that's right.
We just had some very
Which is sub-cabinet
subcabinet.
and or semi-conference.
We got some very preliminary meeting with respect to our plans to develop our property and some initiatives on the part of the administration with regard to addressing the housing stock situation in the territory. The discussions are very preliminary. That's basically to get a feel for if there may be some with the combined efforts. That's a conclusion of my. Next up, the administrator's report.
Yes, good morning all, Mr. Chairman. As is typical, I begin with the same meetings, presentation and appearances. I really want to go through item by item. Quite a few of them are related to our extensive and ongoing efforts with regards to our velocity migration project, which has us all busy with meetings throughout the week. Suffice it to say that we're giving a full project update at the July board retreat. We're also about to wrap up the launch phase, which is the first phase by the end of this month, which is the end of this week, for the schedule. So I'd like to thank and commend the staff for the tremendous effort that has been dedicated by all departments in this project. On April 24th, of course, we had the last Board of Trustees meeting. We've begun our budget preparation process, which we would have preliminary budget indications for preliminary discussion in the July board meeting, and then final presentation and hope for ratification by the board by August for our annual budget. I'm just looking for the highlights here. I held a management meeting on May 12th, so as I indicated, various velocity related internal meetings. May 13th, I had an on-site meeting with the Hampton by Hilton developer as we get closer to the completion of the opening of the hotel. As the chairman indicated, on May 14th, the chairman, myself, and the head of the development committee, Trustee Smith, did meet with the governor and the executive director of the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority and the director of the Office of Disaster Recovery, and some preliminary discussions with regards to how we could I wouldn't say join forces, but how we could cooperate with the Housing Finance Authority and ODR, particularly with regards to funding opportunities for the development, as we have indicated previously, of our properties on St. Thomas and St. Croix, both for the benefit of the GERS as well as the wider community, particularly in the area of housing stock. It was a preliminary meeting, and we're following up for a follow-up meeting next week with ODR and the Housing Finance Authority. So I would imagine that in future meetings, we will be able to give a more detailed update as to where, if anything, the initiative is. On May 13th, we issued a press release announcing the startup of the limited retiree personal loan program, and that has been proceeding in its initial phases pretty well. We, just to recap, have a $15 million authorization from the board for that program. $7,500 maximum loan amount. Theoretically, that would equate to 2,000 loans if everybody that apply were to receive the maximum. One can say that it's maybe a modest start with regards to the numbers. As of the numbers that I received yesterday, we have 252 initial expressions of interest, with it being almost evenly split between the St. Croix district and the St. John district. The first appointments are being scheduled for the beginning of June, and the period will be open through the beginning of August. So there's still time, and we look forward to working with our retirees who qualify for the loan program, so that we can provide them with their loans. Okay, so we're still in the early phases. The staff is ready and raring to go, I'd like to commend Ms. Michelle Nico, our Territorial Director of Loans and Senior and Deputy Administrator on St. Croix, as well as her loans team. And also the customer service area headed up by Ms. Danica Thomas for their continued great efforts. We had a meeting with the green space designer for the Haven Sites property that we are developing next to the hotel. That went very well and is close to, we've actually begun or the construction of the visitor center at the at Haven Sites has already begun. If you drive by, you will see walls coming up, so that's moving along quite nicely as well. And then on May 18th through the 22nd, I attended the National Conference in Public Employee Retirement Systems, and that would conclude my meetings, presentations, and appearances report. Continuing on with member services, retirement applications. Ms. Sasso, you have something for 2026? Well, through for 2025, we have 96 applications. 2 have been processed, the remaining number of 94 are being worked on. Through for 2024, working backwards, we had 318 applications, of which 269 have been processed, with 49 remaining. So our completion rate there, 85%. And typically, if there's any delay in processing, it's typically due to missing paperwork or missing contributions. So with regards to prior years, we're quite good. And current year, it's still very much a work in progress. Contributions, processing, refunds, and death benefits. Through April 2025, there have been 141 cases processed, totaling some $1.365 million. And there are 106 cases remaining. Death benefits, we have completed 4 cases totaling $237,629. There are 63 cases pending final processing. Annuity payments, we grew for the period October 1st through May 15th. We have paid out the 2025, we paid out some $169,641,000 in annuity payments. The number of retirees as of May 15, 2025 is 8,785. For the period October 1st, 2024 through May 15, 2025, we've added 194 retirees, and subsequent to that, we've added another 13. The number of retirees expected to be placed on the payroll as of the May 31st pay date is 12, and the number of retirees deleted has been for the fiscal year thus far has been 179 retirees who would be deceased. As of May 15, the gross retiree payroll is $11.4 million per semi-monthly payment. In terms of disbursements by location, we have a total of 9,635 retiree disbursements, and most of them, as we've indicated repeatedly, are in the territory, not international, and most of them continue to be paid by ACH. So if there aren't any questions about that particular area, we'll just gloss over that. Loans program. So, as of April 30th, 2025, we have 2,115 active. We have personal loans rather, of which 2,026 are active employees. And as of this report anyway, the retiree personal loans would have been legacy personal loans. But now with the restart of the limited retiree loan program, we'll be expecting to see the numbers for the retiree personal loans increasing over the next month or two. Mortgage loans are legacy loans that's just being amortized. In terms of dollar figures, we have a portfolio size of approximately $20 million for which comprises all loan categories. What's interesting to note here is that you can already see that our active loan program, personal loan portfolio has been functioning well because it is amortizing on schedule. We're already down to $16.2 million, meaning that it's paying down as scheduled. And at the appropriate time, I take it the board will consider whether we will redeploy those assets. 8%. Moving on to the operations portion of my report, St. Croix office complex. We're doing some work on the parking lots lamps, which is about 90% complete. No issues on the St. Thomas office complex front. And Haven site, which I alluded to previously, the project is 91% complete. There was a CZM hearing on not last evening, but the evening before, for a modification of the existing permit, which was approved by the CZM Commission. August 5th, we expect a soft opening of the hotel. In October, we expect a grand opening of the hotel. Okay, so we're very excited there, both in terms of the life that is expected to be, additional life that is expected to be injected into the Haven sites property, as well as for the additional revenues that we anxiously look forward to collecting. And based on preliminary discussions with discussions with the developer and preliminary bookings, the rates that the hotel is commanding far exceed expectation, which translate into revenue for not only the developer but for the DBLS. So we won't count the chickens before they hatch, but they're looking quite good. You can also see in my reports, I alluded to the Welcome Center, that you see the conceptual drawing of the Welcome Center here, but if you were to go by the mall, you would see the actual construction, excuse me, underway. And we're excited about that as well. When that is completed, it'll be a nice place for the hundreds of thousands of cruise passengers that we greet, being able to pass through, learn about the islands, most importantly, learn about our property and what our tenants or merchants have to offer, as well as being a place that we can extend some hospitality. Right next to the green space, between the green space and the hotel is between the visitor center and the hotel is the green space. It's, you know, this is a relatively small rendering, but it gives you an idea of the scope, the size of the green space with relation to the visitor center. So you can see it's a rather substantial green space that will be a community gathering spots as well. To our rental collections, we have arrearages of, well, we have collections. Let's start with the good news of, and this is for GERS office complexes, not even so. Total fiscal year to date, revenue collection, rental collection of $979,000, just shy of $1 million, and arrearages of $96,560.79. The arrearage is, once again, we work with our fellow agency, Justice, but they do have some arrearages. I know we have Director Richardson on there. Their electrical arrearage is rather modest at $25,000, and they always work diligently to ensure that we get paid. So we're not concerned there. And we have a small, very small private tenant that owes us $8,000 in rent that we'll be seeking to collect rather shortly. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the administrative.
Any questions for the administrator? All right. Committee reports. I don't think there are any. Treasurer's report, Ms. Anderson.
No. Ms. Ostrey sitting in for, there she is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they look very hard.
Good morning, Board Chair. Good morning, Board Trustees. Good morning, Administrator Dawson. Good morning, all. Just give me a chance to just share my screen.
And while Ms. Ostrey does that, we'd like to thank her for filling in for our CFO at this meeting today.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, the schedule of receipts of and disbursements for the period ending April 30th, 2025. We have receipts from collections, the loan repayment, $821,895. Year to date, $4,770,863. Employer retirement contributions, $11,501,740. Year to date, $57,981,725. The employee retirement contributions.
Skipped over the rent from tenants, Ms. Ostrey.
Okay, the rent from tenants, which just include the GRS office, $132,230. Year to date, $632,314. Employee retirement contributions, $5,863,930. Year to date, $29,517,926. GRS bond funding note, year to date, $101,571,380. Miscellaneous, $14,723. Year to date, $1,882,086, with a total collection of $18,336,769. Year to date, $1,196,364,393. Disbursements, annuity payments include the $23,081,876. Year to date, $162,850,916. Administrative expenses, $1,297,111. Year-to-date, $10,725,244, giving us a total disbursements of $25,725,233. Year-to-date, $180,402,571, giving us a net cash deficit of $7,388,464, giving us a total surplus overall of $15,961,822. For the month of April 2025, we collected 71% of what was needed for disbursement, which was $25,725,233. Year-to-date fiscal 2025 administrative expenses were 47% of budget. Going down to Havenside Mall, the schedule of receipts and disbursements for Havenside Mall, month ending April 30th, 2025. We have a receipts from collections. Rent from Havenside tenants will be $548,338. Year-to-date fiscal 2025, thus far is $3,500,493. Miscellaneous, we collected $34,109, giving us a year-to-date figure of $261,033. Total collection thus far is $582,447. Year-to-date collections, $3,761,526. In terms of the disbursement, we have a total disbursement of $406,215. Year-to-date, $2,756,109, giving us a net cash surplus of $176,232. Year-to-date, $1,005,417. So for the month of April 2025, in terms of the Havenside Mall, the expenditure was 70% of $176,232 on the total collections. The year-to-date expenditure decreased by 15%, or $402,693 over the last fiscal year to date expenditure due. So this ends the Treasury report of April 2025. If you have any questions, I'm open to answer any questions you have.
Any questions with regard to the Treasurer's report? Thank you again, Ms. Astry, for filling in.
You're welcome.
I have a motion to accept the Treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Clark, seconded by Trustee Smith. Roll call, please.
Yes. Trustee Tom Clark,
Yes.
Trustee Clark, yes. Trustee Andre Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey, yes. Trustee Vincent Liger,
Yes.
Trustee Liger, yes. Trustee Ronald Russell, absent. Trustee Leona Smith,
Yes.
Trustee Smith, yes. Trustee Wayne Howard,
Yes.
Howard, yes. Mr. Chairman, IVA, one absent.
Next up, we have the Investment Officer's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, other trustees, and all listening audience. This is the update of the investment portfolio as of April 30th, 2025. Just to give a brief highlight of the quarter. During April, we saw the President's announcement of Liberation Day on the 2nd of April, where he announced sweeping tariffs on imported goods on several countries. This, of course, caused notable stock market volatility pretty much throughout the month. Equities fluctuated pretty much throughout the month after this announcement, as the tariffs exceeded pretty much the expectations of the overall market, which expected about a 10% rate on all US imports. Also, to include the tariff situation, the market were also worried as the president, again, pretty much attacked the Federal Reserve's independence, threatening to fire the chairman, Jay Powell, which also contributed to overall volatility throughout the month. So, total plan returned 0.5% month to date, which was pretty much flat to a slight increase for the month. Our total domestic equity returned was down 0.8% month to date. The Russell 1000 index was down about 0.6%. Our Russell 2000 index, which is our small cap index, was down about 2.3%. Our total international equity returned 3.6%, as the developed market was one of the beneficiaries from the volatility we saw in the US market. So we saw the developed market equity returned about 4.7%. We also saw emerging markets was up slightly at 0.7%. Our total domestic fixed income portfolio returned 0.2%, where our investment grade bonds contributed about 0.4%. Our TIPS portfolio contributed 0.1%. Our high yield bond portfolio was down slightly at 0.1%. And we did see some yield from our cash on hand at 0.4%. Total alternatives in the portfolio returned 0.4%. Again, that total alternative, the bulk of that is our Havenside property. Fiscal year to date, the plan is up about 1.8%. Funny enough, if you stripped out the alternative or the Havenside position, we're pretty much flat for the fiscal year. Domestic equity fiscal year to date, again, pretty much is the driver of underperformance in the portfolio at down 3.1%. Our international equity position fiscal year to date is up about 1.6%. And our bond or fixed income portfolio fiscal year to date is up about 1.3%. So a pretty good performance for the month, given the volatility that was in the market for the month of April. At the end of the month, we were at approximately 508.2 million. So we began at a market value of about 505.5 million. We did not have any cash flow out of the fund in the month of April. We saw about $157,000 in income for the month. We had an unrealized appreciation in the portfolio of about 2.5 million. That brought us to that ending market value of about $508.2 million. Our fiscal year to date, as you can see, we began at about 497.2 million. So far, we have a net cash flow of about 1.5 million from the portfolio. We have an income of about 1.4 million. We have an unrealized appreciation in the portfolio of about $8.1 million. And that again brings us back to that ending market value of about $508.2 million. We did not have to raise any cash in the month of April, which was good given the volatility in the markets. As it relates to investment-related fees, we paid $63,000 calendar month in the month of April. That was for consultant fees. Calendar year to date, we've paid about $188,000. And fiscal year to date, we've paid about $287 across investment management, consultant, and custodian bank fees. In relation to those fees, if you look at the chart on the bottom left, we still continue to pay pretty much minimal fees on our assets at 0.03% or 3 basis points. The only other thing I would like to note, Mr. Chairman and trustees, if you look at the chart in the middle, if you look at where we were at April 2024 and where we are now at April 2025, we're practically at the same levels as we were practically a year ago, even with all of the outflows that we've had in the fund so far for the year, which I think, as mentioned by Ms. Astri in her presentation, about $100 million we've taken out so far for the year to pay benefits. And Mr. Chairman, trustees, that ends my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henderson. Any questions for the investment officer? Hearing none, can I have a motion to accept the investment officer's report?
So moved.
Second.
I think that was Dorsey and Clark, right?
Moved by trustee Dorsey, seconded by trustee Clark. Have a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, trustee Tamman Clark,
Yes.
trustee Clark, yes, trustee Andre Dorsey,
Yes.
trustee Dorsey, yes, trustee Vincent Liger. Trustee Liger. Trustee Liger not voting. Trustee Ronald Russell. Trustee Russell absent. Trustee Leona Smith. Trustee Smith. Trustee Smith not voting. Trustee Dwayne
I'm
Powell.
sorry. Yes. Yes is my vote.
Trustee Smith, yes. Trustee Dwayne Powell, yes. Trustee Hollywood, yes. And one more time, trustee Vincent Liger. Trustee Liger still not voting. So, Mr. Chairman, 4 yea, 1 not voting, and 1 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. I have a motion to go into executive session.
So move. I make a motion to go into
Second.
executive session.
I'm gonna read it. Right, trustees.
I move that we go into executive session to hear matters pertaining legally and other personal and financial matters.
Second.
So, moved by- Okay, let's go.
I need to, actually, I need to record that one, so.
Trustee Clark. So the motion to go into executive session by Trustee Smith, seconded by Clark.
Chairman Colwood.
Yes, Director Richardson?
Yes, I'd like to ask to be excused from this executive session due to the conflict of interest given the person who is on the agenda to be discussed.
Okay,
Right, thank you.
thank you.
So, did you do a roll call?
No.
You voted. Oh. Trustee Tom Clark,
Yes.
trustee Clark, yes, trustee Andre Dorsey,
Yes.
trustee Dorsey, yes, trustee Vincent Liger,
Yes.
trustee Liger, yes, trustee Ronald Russell, trustee Russell absent, trustee Leona Smith,
Yes.
trustee Smith, yes, trustee Blaine Howard,
Yes,
trustee Howard, yes, Mr. Chairman, 5 yeas, 1 absent.
all right, thank you. Give us a couple of minutes